This meeting to order.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our special meeting tonight, Friday, October 25th. In attendance at tonight's meeting, we have Supervisor Friedman, Supervisor Ekman, and I'm Supervisor Birmingham. Absent is Supervisor Albert and Supervisor Erler, but we do have a quorum for tonight's meeting. Chris, Callie, thank you for streaming tonight's meeting. Don't anticipate it'll be a long meeting, so you will be home. I don't want to make a guarantee, but I am hoping you can all be home for the opening pitch. With that being said, there's agendas at the podium up here if anybody needs a copy of the agenda. We only have 2 action items that we'll be going over tonight. Have the supervisors in attendance seen the agenda?
Yes.
Do we have a motion to approve tonight's agenda?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Any discussion? All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 3-0. We'll open it up for public comment. If you want to make a public comment, you get 3 minutes. Nick will be timing you. Just ask that you state your name and address, and then the floor is yours. So with that being said, does anybody want to make a public comment? Okay. Moving on, action items. First up is the professional service agreement between Upper Mount Bethel Township and Portland Borough. And Ron, if you could just give us some background and a summary to the public of what that entails.
Yes, that agreement is a pre-existing agreement with respect to development. We don't necessarily, when I say we, Upper Mount Bethel Township does not necessarily enter into these agreements for its development plans that are filed, but I can tell you other townships and boroughs in which I'm solicitor, for example, Smithfield Township, require such an agreement to be signed before the plan begins to get reviewed. And the agreement basically is signed by the developer saying, we want the township to review our plans. In order to review these plans, we will post X number of dollars in escrow to pay for the township's planning professionals, engineers, attorneys, and then be able to move the plan forward. So this is really the same type of agreement where Portland Borough is coming to us saying, if you want us to review the sewer allocation, and I think it's for the Land Tech plan, if I recall correctly, then you need to enter into this agreement, which basically does the following. And I have some just highlights here, so I'll just highlight them. It'll take literally a minute or 2 to go through. That the agreement is a agreement between the township and the Borough of Portland with respect to a review of the Land Tech project for sanitary sewer discharge. And the agreement does not include discharge for industrial waste and other prohibited discharge. It deals with the Land Tech proposed discharge. The expenses for which the township will pay are for the borough's engineering and lawyer services and services of other technical advisors, including review of plans, attendance at meetings, inspections, litigation matters, if any. In order to do this, the township has to deposit with the borough an amount of $10,000 to be replenished when that balance goes below 50%. And at the end of the review, if there's any unused portion, it will be returned to the township. Portland requires all its fees and costs to be paid in full before there is any application to a third-party agency. The township has the right to terminate the agreement upon 30 days written notice. However, it cannot assign the agreement to some other entity without the express written consent of Portland. And the agreement does not establish a joint venture or partnership with Portland for this project. It is simply a professional services review agreement. And finally, as all of these agreements state, the agreement does not guarantee the sale of sanitary sewage capacity. If capacity is decided to be provided, then there will be a bulk service agreement that's entered into between the township and the borough authority. So that is the agreement. I have reviewed it. It's very routine. Of course, it's weighted way in favor of Portland Borough, just as our agreements would be weighted in favor of the township. And I don't see any reason why the matter cannot be approved and moved off of the agenda. But I'll be happy to answer any questions, either the board or anyone in the audience.
Lamtech, do you guys have any questions? Okay. Okay, and supervisors, any questions?
Mr. Chair, I make a motion, we approve the professional service agreement between Upper Mount Bethel Township and Portland Borough as outlined by Mr. Kavsak.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second it.
Any other discussion? Yeah, Marty.
Marty Penner, 39 Lindsay Lane, Mount Bethel. Two questions is, why did a special meeting have to be called for this evening when there is a township meeting Monday?
Because we're trying to get this over to Portland Monday during the day or before their meeting. So that's why we're having it tonight.
Portland wanted to vote on it on Monday night also. So they had said, can we vote on it first and then bring it there and then they can vote on it.
Okay. Second of all, as you all know, that the sewer authority is still in effect until we hear back from the courts. And any agreement made with Landtech should have been run through the sewer authority, or any agreement between Portland and the service area of Upper Mount Bethel would be done between those two entities until the court says otherwise.
Ron?
Well, unfortunately, I've not been involved in that litigation involving the authority and the township. I suppose an argument could be made that it should be run through or run past the authority. However, I don't believe the time frames that the township has been given affords that luxury. Now, I'm not saying that the time frames, if we don't have them, should be controlling in that sense, okay? However, I'm saying we were instructed by Portland that this had to be done, so they would have it ready for their meeting on October 28th, and that's what we did.
So why is Portland running this discussion in Upper Mount Bethel when the project is in Upper Mount Bethel?
Well, because they're the ones that will be providing the services, as far as I can see. You know, they're the ones that will be providing the professional reviews, the technical reviews, the engineering reviews, et cetera, with respect to the project. So that's about all I can tell you. As I said, I've not had my finger to the pulse of the municipal lawsuit litigation, so I'm not sure how that factors into this. So that I'd have to, confess ignorance on.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor. It's been seconded. All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 3-0. Next up, we have a proclamation. This is for Christ Evangelical Lutheran Church proclamation. The church's history began in 1774 in the village of Stone Church, and that's 2 years before the Declaration of Independence was signed. Church was built in, the current church was built in 1910 and has been serving the Mount Bethel community for 250 years. So this proclamation is basically recognizing the Christ Evangelical Lutheran Church, which serves the community with fellowship, ministry, and kindness in the name of Christ. Whereas members worship together as a community of believers and support one another's values and beliefs in the one true God. And this proclamation is being presented by motion, if approved and duly seconded. the Upper Mount Bethel Township Board of Supervisors at tonight's public meeting on the 25th day of October 2024. Do we have a motion to approve this proclamation?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Any discussion? All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. That's it.
Mr. Chair, make a motion for adjournment.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? I say aye as well. No opposed. Motion carries. Meeting is adjourned.
Martin, don't go anywhere, I need to talk.